and welcome to another video. I'm Bloom. We're currently fostering 3 kittens, so if you hear noise in the background, it's them. They're very cute but very noisy. There's Nagara. In today's video, I'm working on a new painting as part of a series. I realized that I've been in a little bit of an art slump recently, actually since the beginning of this year, which seems long, but around January I decided to switch from digital art to traditional art, and I've been exploring and doing a lot of new things and trying out new stuff, trying to figure out how to transfer my style from digital to traditional and what things can be transferred and what things can't. I've made a couple pieces that I've liked already since January, but not as many as I was producing when I was making digital art. Also, personally, I just find traditional art harder than digital art, so it made sense that I was producing a lot more artwork when I was working digitally. I've made a couple artworks that I've liked so far, but not many, so I tried to look back at all the ones that I did like and what I liked about them and maybe how I could explore those further. I think exploring and experimenting with art is really important and nice, but I think that, at least for myself, I like to come back to a certain comfort art, but I think I'm missing that at the moment, so I'm trying to find it back. But I'm not exactly sure what that looks like in traditional art. So I decided to look back through all the art pieces that I made and which ones I liked, and one that I particularly really liked was this piece behind me. I painted it back in May, so it's been a couple months. I was looking back through my sketchbook and I realized that I had done multiple different sketches for other painting ideas that could be part of the series. I figured this was a good time to explore them further, since I really enjoyed making this piece. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day. I started off with developing the sketches I already had into something a bit more concrete. So the main idea was big hands and small items, and specifically insects. The piece I already made had a ladybird, so I thought that other insects could be cute, such as a worm and a caterpillar. But while I was working on this project, I spoke to my sister, and she said she actually wants to commission a piece for her house, and she wants it to be a big hen and a small coffee cup. So I'm definitely going to get to the rest of these paintings in the series either way, because I really love these sketches. But next I moved on to making some sketches for the painting that she requested. I was experimenting on how the hand should interact with the coffee cup. My sister and I chose the one that we felt worked best. And then I made a bunch of different color options on my iPad and sent them through to my sister. I really wanted this series to have really bright, bold colors. And this is the one she chose, so now I was ready to start painting. Well, almost. So the next thing I planned to do was make my canvas like I did last time. I had all the materials except the fabric that I needed to use, so I went to the local thrift store. I got this fabric for €5. I usually look in the tablecloth or curtain section, and that works out pretty well for me. I'm not too picky when it comes to which fabric to use, and since this is only my second canvas I've made, I just choose a cotton fabric that I think would work well. The wood I plan to use and the tools I already had, they were pretty inexpensive compared to what actual canvases cost, so that's why I choose to make them myself. Though it is a lot of work. I think a lot of people might tell you that it's very easy and simple and you save so much money, do it yourself. It is a lot of work, I will say that. As someone who I am crafty, I think, but I don't have a lot of energy, I guess. So this took a lot of energy and I worked on it over many days. I wouldn't really take this as a tutorial on how to make your own canvases because I'm still learning myself. The last canvas I showed you had its flaws, so I tried to fix them this time. But I'm also using a jigsaw which doesn't cut very straight lines. There's also straight cutting tools, which I just don't have. So I'm working with what I got, which means sometimes the end result is not perfect, but that's okay for me. I used this wood filler putty to try and fill in gaps because I noticed with my last canvas that you could see where there were gaps in the wood through the fabric on the painting, which I didn't like. And for this part, stretching the canvas, I would say however hard you think you're stretching, you should stretch harder. And I definitely think you need a second person, one to pull the fabric and the other to stable gun. There's a lot of good tutorials online made by professionals, so if you're interested, I would watch those. I also watched a couple before I started, and then I just filled in the gaps where I could with what I had or what I could find near me. The back of this canvas was definitely an improvement from the last one, and I finally figured out how to neatly fold the corners of the fabrics. So I was really happy with how it turned out. Even though he's a little wonky, we still love him. The next step was to prep the canvas for painting, so I put 2 layers of gesso to make sure that the paint doesn't seep into the fabric. I did notice that the canvas was a little bit loose, so even though we pulled really hard, we didn't pull hard enough. But I think that's more of an annoying thing for painting, because then your painting just moves a little bit while you paint, rather than something you can really notice once the painting is finished and hung up. And even though I sanded all the edges of the wood, you can still see this line created by the wood, but I'm hoping that once painted, you won't really see that anymore. I hope you enjoyed watching the process of this piece. It's going to be making its way to Antwerp soon to my sister, and I hope you have a great day.